What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And in this video we will talk about Memphis Depay, the former Manchester United player. Apparently, according to L'Equipe, the French newspaper, he is ready to quit Lyon and he wants to sign for a Premier League club, but Man United are looking for centre midfielders and defenders, so it looks like Man United are not going to bring him back, even though Man United actually inserted a buyback clause into Depay's contract when he left to sign for Lyon. And Liverpool, according to L'Equipe, is interested in Memphis Depay, who only spent 1.5 years at Man United, and normally Liverpool wouldn't be interested in a former Man United player, but Memphis Depay has good friends at Liverpool from the Dutch national team, namely Van Dijk and Wijnaldum. They are playing together in the Dutch national team, and Depay is definitely interested in signing for Liverpool. So let me know guys, do you think it would be a good transfer? The newspaper is saying that Depay could be available for 45 or maybe 50 million pounds, and I think at that price Depay could be worth a punt, because he is a really good goal scorer. He can play in a number of positions. Normally he plays as a striker at Lyon or as a left winger, but he can play on the right and he can play even behind the striker as a false nine as well. And he scored quite a lot of goals for Lyon. Last season he scored 22 goals for Lyon, and this season he is on course to score another 15 goals for Lyon. So I think he's a really good player, even though he didn't really work out at Man United. I think maybe that career move came a little bit too early, and also Man United were in a transitional period. Depay was reluctantly sold by Mourinho just over 2 years ago, and Depay is now 25 years old and he scored 30 goals in 80 League One appearances. I mean, the French league is not the best league in the world, and Depay is not like as prolific goal scorer as somebody like Mohamed Salah, but he definitely could help Liverpool. I still think that it's not 100% a priority for Liverpool, but we need a very good backup player for Mane or Salah. Somebody, a winger, who can come in and score goals when either of them, Salah and Mane, I mean, they are on the bench or they can't play because of tiredness, or they just need a rest. Because you can't expect to play for a full season with that front line. And when Liverpool play the reserve players or the backup players, there is a huge drop-off in quality. And just look at Manchester City, they are the benchmark. And behind Aguero, Raheem Sterling and Leroy Sané, they have players like Mahrez, Bernardo Silva and Gabriel Jesus. Still world-class players as backups. And at Liverpool, who do we have? We have Sturridge, Origi, maybe Shaqiri can play on the wing as well, but we don't really have an out-and-out right winger who is comfortable to play like Mohamed Salah. And also, reportedly, Real Madrid are interested in Mane, but the newspapers are reporting that Eden Hazard, the Chelsea forward, is very close to, and he's actually a matter of days away from signing for Real Madrid. So I just hope that that means that Real Madrid won't be pursuing Mane in the summer. Not that Liverpool would sell him, but Depay is mooted as a Mane potential replacement if Mane goes to Real Madrid. And I don't think Liverpool would sell him, honestly, not even for 100 million pounds. Depay was actually a transfer target for Liverpool. We were heavily linked with him before he went to Manchester United, and there has been a lot of cases where Liverpool players were, you know, formerly monitored and talked about, like Mane before he went to Southampton, Liverpool were interested in him. Shaqiri, when he went to Bayern, Liverpool were interested in him. And I could tell you many more examples where Liverpool were interested in a player and they ended up signing him 3 or 4 years later. And this could be the case with Memphis Depay. And I honestly think every time I watched him in the Champions League with Lyon, or with the Dutch national team, or with Lyon as in the highlights of the French league, he has impressed me. He has an eye for goal, and he's a very good dribbler, a brilliant free kick taker as well. So I really hope that we go for Depay, and for 45 million, I think that's a very good price for a player who could get you 10-15 goals regularly as a backup player, and I think Liverpool badly need a player who could come in when Salah, Mane or Firmino are injured, tired or just suspended, and just fill the gap. Because if we get one serious injury to any of those players, Liverpool would be screwed, and it would be such a shame, such a pity. Imagine we are in the title race next season and Salah gets injured for 2 months and we don't have a backup player who can come in and fill that position with the same quality, and we drop off of the title race, and in the end we look back on the season with massive regret. Why didn't we have a backup player for one of our front players? That's the scenario that I really fear to happen. I really hope that it doesn't happen, but I think Jurgen Klopp should plan for every scenario. So let me know, guys, do you think Depay would be a good Liverpool player? I would certainly welcome him. And I don't think he particularly likes Man United now. The way that he left, they basically got him out of the door as quickly as possible. So I don't think he has a soft spot for Man United anymore, in my opinion. And in a recent Netherlands game, Depay assisted both Wijnaldum and Van Dijk. So there is chemistry on the pitch as well as off the pitch. So I think Depay would have no issues settling in, and he could hit the ground running. He wouldn't need 5 months to settle in, because he already knows the Premier League and he already has some friends at Liverpool who could help him with everything. And Depay seems like the kind of guy who thrives off being kind of the villain, and he would be the villain in the eyes of Man United fans, and he would revel in that role, in my opinion. He would thrive under that microscope, in my opinion. He would love it to come back to England and prove a lot of doubters wrong, because Man United fans and some pundits said that Depay was a massive failure in England, and that's kind of true, but he just started out his career. He was a 22-23-year-old youngster, and he is now a more mature, more complete player who could really make a big difference for Liverpool next season if we were to sign him. And I just wanted to tell you about this crazy story that I heard about very recently. A Liverpool fan injured himself very heavily when he was celebrating the Liverpool winner scored by Mo Salah against Southampton. He apparently snapped his Achilles tendon celebrating that goal, and he had to get a plaster on his leg. This is a crazy story, and he also jokingly suggested the title chase is going to be the death of him. But he seems to be in good spirits according to his Twitter. I just love this story, man. Like, imagine, I celebrated some goals like crazy in my life, but I never seriously injured myself. I did some knee slides on the ground and a little bit hurt my knee, but nothing too serious. But this guy actually went to the hospital because of celebrating a Liverpool goal. I mean, that is just hilarious, and the fact that he can joke about it right now is, I think, a good thing. That means that he's in good spirits still. I can't imagine what he would do if Liverpool were to win the title, because maybe he would end up even more seriously injuring himself. But I just thought this is a funny and cool story of this Liverpool fan to tell you guys. And Jurgen Klopp has described replacing Steven Gerrard as captain, which Henderson did when he became captain of Liverpool after Gerrard left. He's described that as the most difficult job in the last 500 years of football, which of course sounds like a hyperbole, and it's a little bit of an over-exaggeration. Liverpool, I mean, football is not even 500 years old, but he just wanted to emphasize this point. So let's hear what he says actually. Jurgen Klopp said this, and I quote, "That goal meant so much to Henderson and to us. He's just a fantastic boy. He deserves all the praise, but he doesn't get too much of it. Hendo, from my point of view, is a brilliant player. He is our skipper, he is a fantastic character. If I had to write a book about Henderson, it would be 500 pages. Those are Jurgen Klopp's words. So I'm very positive," Jurgen Klopp continued. So the most difficult job in the last 500 years of football was to replace Steven Gerrard as Liverpool captain. In the mind of the people, it was like, if it's not Stevie, then it's not good enough. and he has dealt with that outstandingly well, so he can be really proud. Now we have to think of the future, and he's a very important part of this team. So Jurgen Klopp here wants to praise, maybe overly praise Henderson, because he gets too much stick, in my opinion, from Liverpool fans, mainly because of this reason, that he has an impossible job. Probably the greatest player in Liverpool's history is Steven Gerrard. You can't fill his shoes, and whoever was the captain after Gerrard had an impossible job, because you can't live up to that kind of standards. And Henderson was like, how old? 22, 23 years old when he joined Liverpool from Sunderland, and he had an impossible job. And still, some Liverpool fans, I think, compare Henderson to Gerrard, which you shouldn't do. He's a different kind of player, and Henderson in his own right is a very, very good player. And I'm just so happy that he scored such a big goal in the title race, because I remember that the last time Liverpool were in the title race, Henderson got sent off against Man City, and yes, we won that game, but Henderson missed like the next 2 or 3 games, and we dropped points in some of them. And I think Henderson has this massive regret about that red card, and also a massive you know, a job to be finished here at Liverpool. He still wants to win the title. Paul Ince talked about Jordan Henderson as well. When he came on, he said, like a true professional that he is, he set an example. I thought he was outstanding. It's easy to come on when you are not playing and sulk, but Jordan was like, no, it's not just about me, this is about the team. It was a Brian Robson-esque run into the box for his goal. You don't see this anymore from midfield players a lot. Box to box, this is a goal he thoroughly deserves because of his performance that warranted it. For his celebration, I've never seen him go this man. It's like a man possessed. You can see what it means to him. So Henderson, he's saying to Klopp, I want to start, I'm the captain of this football club. And I just, my personal opinion, I loved the passion. It felt like he was a Liverpool fan at heart. That's how he celebrated. He celebrated like many Liverpool fans, I think, celebrated about that goal. And Jurgen Klopp said some interesting things about Tottenham and Tottenham's transfer policy. So I wanted to give my opinion about this, but also first I wanted to show you guys what Jurgen Klopp actually said. In England, the country of transfers, if you don't do transfers, then that's a really big headline. I'm sure Mauricio Pochettino would have loved to have added, but the first team of Tottenham is difficult to improve. From that point of view, if you have the right team together, you don't have to be too busy in the transfer market, but the players you have, you can improve them as well. Maybe they are better than the boy you wanted to buy. I respect their way a lot. At the end, we all have to make our own decisions. I don't know why they did it, but most of the time, if you don't make transfers, it is because of the lack of money. Jurgen Klopp also suggested, if you look at their new stadium, you might see where the money is. They had to pay the stadium by themselves, right? Nobody knows, so you have to save a little bit of money. There's so many positive things you could say about Mauricio Pochettino. The whole club looks settled. I think Jurgen Klopp is right. It's a similar scenario where Arsenal moved to a new stadium, and Arsenal, I think, was a richer club then than Tottenham is right now. And Arsenal still couldn't actually buy a lot of players. In fact, they had to sell some of their key players. Many Arsenal fans were very disappointed about that. And Tottenham might have to do the same in the next 3 years. They might have to either not buy players or sell some of their star players. And I think actually not buying any players but retaining your star players is actually a better strategy than just selling Harry Kane or selling Eriksen and from that money that you get from the player sale, buying 2 or 3 players. Because this Tottenham team looks really settled, even though they were on a bad run in the past like 6 rounds. They won against Crystal Palace, and now they look like they will finish in the top 4 pretty comfortably, even though I really hope that they give Manchester City a fantastically hard game, and I really hope that they could actually beat Manchester City if they perform to the maximum of their ability. So my thought is, for Tottenham, this is just a short-term problem, but the long-term gain regarding the stadium is much bigger and much better, and I think Tottenham could become a regular Champions League club if they are clever about what they do with the transfers in the next 3 or 4 years. And that stadium looks fantastic, I will be honest, and it looks like one of the most modern and one of the best stadiums in the world. But I'm fine with Anfield being redeveloped and extended. And I think Anfield has such rich history that for Liverpool it was better to stay at Anfield. So I'm not really jealous of the Tottenham stadium, and if Anfield gets expanded, we could get to a 60,000 seater stadium as well. But of course the location is different. It's different for Liverpool than having a stadium in London, because London prices are just crazy even compared to Liverpool or Manchester. You could ask for more ticket prices, higher VIP tickets and everything else. And I just wanted to touch on the Liverpool-Porto matchup in the Champions League, because Jose Mourinho doesn't think that the tie will be as one-sided as it was last season, and Mourinho said this: Porto have a chance to win and go through. Compared with last season, I think Sergio Conceição will ask himself questions about what happened in order to do something different. This time around the tie is open, and what happened last year I believe can play for Porto in both games. Liverpool have absolutely fantastic individual quality, but they are disputing the league title with Manchester City, which means that they will not rest players in the previous game or between 2 games. But that's the same for Porto as well, because they are level on points with Benfica in terms of dropped points, and I think Porto's priority is the Portuguese league title, because realistically Porto are not aiming to win the Champions League. They don't have a very real chance of winning the Champions League, so I can't imagine they will go with 100% against Liverpool and not go 100% in the league games. I think the league games will be the priority for Porto and for Liverpool as well. So this is a very interesting matchup, a very interesting dynamic. I agree with Mourinho in the context that I think it will be a lot tougher. I don't think we will knock Porto out with a 5-0 aggregate score. I think it will be a lot closer. It will be just maybe 2 or 3 goals maximum. It could even be 1 goal. The key is the home leg. If Liverpool win and do not concede, then that will be perfectly set up for the second leg. So I really hope that Liverpool do that. But I have this weird scenario in my head where Liverpool go to the semi-finals of the Champions League and we really extend ourselves and really stretch the squad, and maybe that will cost us in the Premier League title race. I'm not saying Liverpool should go out of the Champions League. I really want for Liverpool to win both competitions, but I'm just wondering, do Liverpool have the squad depth to really cope with this many games at the end of the season? I really hope so, and maybe Liverpool rotated their midfield a little bit with this in mind. We started with Naby Keita and Wijnaldum and Fabinho. Maybe we will start with Henderson, Milner and Wijnaldum, or Henderson, Milner and Fabinho in the Porto game. Maybe this is why Jurgen Klopp rotated a little bit. The good news is that Liverpool have more and more formerly injured players back fit who can play in the Champions League as well. We have Joe Gomez training, he will be fit for the Porto game. It looks like Lovren is back, Shaqiri, Naby Keita, they are back fully fit. So we could start with a different team and still retain the quality. We could start with Joe Gomez and Van Dijk, or Joe Gomez and Lovren, and still have a very good defense. We could start with Shaqiri, Milner and Henderson in midfield and still retain a very good quality. So let me know, guys, what do you think about this? Should Jurgen Klopp rotate to keep the team fresh for the final stretch of the season? I certainly think so. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you later. Goodbye.